Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backshot Boxing. Now, man, with Tyson Fury getting this amazing defeat with Dillian White, man, a lot of people are calling Tyson Fury, man, they're calling him the best ever, man. Some people are saying he's better than Ali, man. And the hype is so big for Tyson Fury that, he just thinks there's nothing left to accomplish in boxing. When he beat Klitschko, he won an IBF, WBA, and WBO titles. And now that he beat Deontay Wilder, he got the WBC title. Now, he didn't have all titles at once, but, with people calling him TBE, why fight anymore? Why fight? So with all that being said, man, Tyson Fury decides to retire, actually, shockingly enough. And not only that, but he says that Deontay Wilder should fight for a title, and he says that Deontay Wilder, outside of him, is the best heavyweight in the division. Now, man, Michael Benson's always getting these quotes from Tyson Fury, and he quotes articles and stuff like that. And this is from his Twitter. And Michael Benson says, if Tyson Fury retires and actually vacates his WBC heavyweight world title, then based on the current rankings, the WBC would most likely order Deontay Wilder, WBC number 1, to face the winner of George Joyce, WBC number 2 versus Joseph Parker winner for the vacant belt. So, Tyson Fury has been contemplating retirement, and, he's basically, saying, hey, man, Wilder should come back and fight for a title. Now, man, this sounds all good and great, but in my opinion, we already, Deontay Wilder getting WBC title, that just puts Deontay Wilder in the same situation he was in before fighting Tyson Fury, which was fighting the other champions, right? The Anthony Joshua's, the Alexander Usyks, things like that. So, in my opinion, Deontay Wilder, he was treated really badly by Sullivan, the WBC president, right? And, they didn't launch an investigation on Tyson Fury. They just didn't do a lot of things that they were supposed to do. And they didn't. So, Deontay Wilder, that being said, he shouldn't be fighting for a WBC title anymore, in my opinion. If he really wants to become the big dog in the division, he needs to fight. He needs to try to go the WBA route, WBO route, or the IBF route. Anthony Joshua, when he first won his title, it was the IBF title, right? And that then began his reign to get all the other titles. I think Deontay Wilder should go that route. He's extremely active in the sport of boxing, and he's so active that I think he'll get out the rankings extremely quick. Now, Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, they have certain pools with certain sanctioning bodies. If you actually follow Floyd Mayweather, for example, Gervonta Tank Davis, he's always fighting for a WBA title. At 130, he had the IBF and WBA super title. And at 135 and 140, Gervonta Tank Davis has the WBA regular titles. So, Deontay Wilder, if he goes those routes, he's a big money player. And who wouldn't want Deontay Wilder as the number 1 dog? Because, well, they get sanctioning fees from these fighters. So having them fight for their titles means that they'll get more money. So that being said, man, ultimately Deontay Wilder wants to fight the other champions, the Anthony Joshua's and Alexander Usyk. The only way he's going to be able to do that is if he becomes their mandatory, right? Getting another title would just put you in a situation where you really never impose yourself on another champion. So I do think Deontay Wilder should come back, but he doesn't really need a title. He needs to just become a mandatory to fight Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. With Tyson Fury being out the picture, maybe another champion, another guy who does not have the credentials of Deontay Wilder can get the WBC title. I don't know. Maybe Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz can fight each other, or maybe one of those guys can fight George Joyce, Joseph Parker winner. That being said, it will solidify a new champion, and it'll make more money in the long run for Deontay Wilder if he gets a chance to fight for one of those titles. So, that all being said, a lot of people aren't giving respect. But if one of these contenders can get that WBC title and hold on for it for a few years, it would definitely legitimize them as a heavyweight champion of the world. Deontay Wilder already tied Muhammad Ali's record for title defenses, so he's already seen as legit. He's a legitimate champion. He doesn't really need a title anymore, and there's no point in having one of these corrupt sanctioning bodies like the WBC in your pockets taking a percentage of your purse, which is 7 to 15%, if not 20%, of your purse, and paying these insane sanctioning fees just to hold the title. Sport of boxing, it's weird like that. It's weird like that. But anyway, man, I think that Deontay Wilder, the best route for him is to fight for these to fight underneath one of these other sanctioning bodies that's not the WBC, and that's the best thing for him. In my opinion, I think the IBF title is the most prestigious title at this point in current boxing right now. They'll impose a mandatory on you no matter who you are. Kell Brook was going to be stripped of his title until he fought Errol Spence Jr. And IBF didn't care who the person was who got the title, right? So that being said, man, the IBF is definitely the least corrupt. The WBC has had scandals. The WBA has had scandals. The WBO has been sued by people like Austin Trout. The only sanctioned body that I know that hasn't been sued, at least that I know of, is the IBF title. So, that being said, the IBF title is the only title that's based out of America as well. I think the WBO title is a foreign one. The WBC title is a Mexican title by Suleiman, and all the titles are all foreign besides the IBF. The IBF title is the only American title, and that's probably the most regulated and just the most above board title you can get in the sport of boxing right now. So that all being said, man, I do think Deontay Wilder should come back, but just stay away from the WBC title, man. There's nothing good that can come from it. And WBC has been known to have people in a quote-unquote clean boxing program, but when these fighters test positive, the WBC president comes out talking about this, the test is suspect, and we're gonna launch our own private investigation, which they did for Oscar Valdez, and they basically gave him he got no punishment for it actually. So he tested positive for a banned substance, and he still went on a fight to fight his opponent, and not only that, he got beat up pretty bad. Oscar Valdez will be fighting Shakur Stevenson soon. I think this is Saturday, and man, I mean, the writing's on the wall for Oscar Valdez. The betting odds are stacked against him right now, and a lot of people might say it's a 50-50 fight, but Vegas has it as a mismatch. So we're gonna see how that plays out. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm tired of these sanctioning bodies, man, and people want to see fighters fight now, and it's really not about the titles anymore. It's about solidifying a legacy now at this point. And the only way that these fighters can solidify their legacy is not by getting these titles, but it's really by fighting these top fighters who are seen as the best. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, those are the top guys right now, and those are the guys to beat. So we're going to see how this whole thing plays out, man. But will Deontay Wilder come back? Will a vacant WBC title make Deontay Wilder come back? All I know is if Deontay Wilder doesn't fight for a title and someone else gets it, and someone else starts reigning, it makes the heavyweight division much more to talk about, because the whole Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury thing, and I guess newly Alexander Usyk, it's nice, but one more big name, hey man, that's one more is welcome to the club. I would like to see that. So anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about it though. Do you guys think Deontay Wilder should fight for a title? You guys already know my stance. I broke it down more than once. Let me know how you guys feel about it though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.